Yo, yo, here we go. Welcome to the Big Zo podcast. I am he is me. Episode 9, I believe. It don't even matter. But what up, world? Gonna chop it up for a little bit. Woke up, had a fire nap, and got up feeling energized and rejuvenated. Well, I guess it was well needed. You know, your body will shut down and let you know when you need to rest. Because sometimes I tend to fight my sleep like a little kid. You know what I mean? Like, if I could go without sleep, I probably would. But unfortunately, that's not the reality. So, you sleep when I can get it, man. I'm a poor sleeper anyway. So, every now and then, I'm able to get off a good sleep session where I can get about, for me, 5 to 6 hours is a good sleep session. I know people who can get off like 8 and possibly even more. I can't do it. Actually, if I lay down for too long, you know, my back will start hurting. I don't know if that's coming getting older or what. But for me, about 5 to 6 hours is a good sleep session for me. I take that any day. But anywho, hope everybody being safe out there, man, and still doing their thing. I just saw yesterday that they're about to, because the numbers have went up tremendously everywhere, mostly everywhere, that they're about to do another lockdown. So, you know, prepare for the store shelves to be empty, man. You know how we do. We panic and say forget everybody else, and we go for self. So I hope y'all already got tissue. I hope y'all, it shouldn't be a tissue shortage because of how y'all acted last time. Y'all still should have enough tissue. So it shouldn't be a tissue shortage. If it's a tissue shortage at this time around, then y'all just being greedy. But so I saw they about to shut it down again, man. I don't know how long, you know, but yo, it needs to be done, man. I'm not gonna say I'm a fan of the way we have to do things now, but I understand it. Sometimes you gotta remove self from the equation, man, and recognize what's best for the general public. So they loosened the reins a little bit, and we went crazy. Went back to doing everything full blown, like Rona ain't out here. You know, I've seen the videos and the clips and all of that on social media. Everybody back at the clubs, you know, partying and being crowded and being all up on each other, man. You know, that ain't the vibe at the moment. That ain't the vibe at the moment. We got to sit down. We got to relax a little bit. Trust me, everybody's so eager to get back out there. Yo, there's gonna be plenty of time to get back to living your life. There's gonna be plenty of time to get back to doing the very same thing that you complain about. Fellas, sit down. Y'all gonna have plenty of time to waste these ladies' time. Ladies, sit down. Y'all gonna have plenty of time to get your time wasted. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. So we got to sit down, man. So they're gonna shut that thing back down. I think they're gonna do it either Monday or Tuesday. And you know, it is what it is. So, you know, just be prepared, man. I hope y'all got y'all food and all y'all essentials and all that. And hopefully we can get through this thing. Especially since you know, we're gonna have a change in power. You know, the election is done. I don't care what they still counting or if they still counting, it's done. So, you know, my man, he lost. Take your ball and go home. You know, quit being a sore loser, B. Take that L. So hopefully, man, when we get the changing of the guard, we can get this thing to I don't want to say a respectable level, but just to the point where we can get back to our everyday living. And, you know, like I said, I don't have the answers, man. My thing is just sit down. Sit down. Sit down. But speaking of the election, I was seeing a lot of Orange Clown supporters trying to compare their behavior to accepting the loss to the behavior of people reacting to police murdering unarmed blacks on camera. They were saying, you know, they all regurgitate the same thing. Was saying he lost the election and there wasn't one, and the people were so disappointed, but not one city was burned to the ground. Bruh, you really trying to compare a election loss to a life being lost. Not just a life, numerous lives being lost. How foolish do you sound? You dummies. That's repeating that, that's posting it. You dummies, you idiots. And that is part of the problem. A main part of the problem right there is the lack of intelligence on your behalf. And the fact that half the country still voted for this guy, it says a lot. Yeah, Biden won, you know, but that really, what does that really mean in the long run? It shouldn't even be close. For it to be that close is just alarming. And y'all really showed the true colors of this country. But to compare a loss of election to a loss of a life and be like, we didn't burn any cities to the ground. You see how we behaved when we lost the election? Bruh, you can't compare. There's no comparison. That's the dumbest comparison I've ever heard. But that's where we are. That's where we are. That's classic America. That's where we are. But anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on them dummies. But so just been chilling, man. So hopefully we can kind of restore some order with what's going on. We still got a long way to go. It was cool to get those couple of days to kind of exhale and celebrate a little bit. But now the real work began. They still have the runoff in January, which is going in Georgia. So yo, the way Georgia showed up for the presidential election, they got to show up for this one. They got to show up for this one. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not the biggest a big fan of having faith in this country, man. But I got to be honest with you, I'm feeling kind of good, man, because Stacey Abrams is clutch. Yo, she is the real MVP. Because what the work she did in Georgia was just amazing. She's the real MVP in all of this. And I think that she is definitely back on her grind because of what's coming up in January. So I'm actually feeling kind of confident in what they're gonna do down there in Georgia, man. I mean, I could be wrong, and I've been wrong a million times before. But I'm just feeling I feel kind of good. I feel kind of good about the chances. But after that, the real work begins. We don't let up, because I feel like with Obama, we got relaxed. We got him in office and we was like, good. All right, let's chill out. Now, we can't do that. We can't make the same mistake twice. Now is the time for us to really apply pressure and make them hold and make them keep their word. The whole campaign, what they've been talking. Now's the time to put our foot on the gas and not let up. And make them keep their word. I think that the chances now are kind of in our favor. Like I said, I'm not finna get all filled up with glee and think everything's going to change. But this is just an opportunity right now to get things really done, especially if the Dems can get the House and the Senate. Then there really shouldn't be a reason that things can't get done. But shout out to Stacey Abrams, man. She dope. She dope. If you don't know who this woman is, if you're not familiar, Google her, read about her, learn about her. She clutch, and she definitely deserves a position on Biden's cabinet, team, whatever. A star position because of what she did. This lady was robbed of her election a few months back, and she stayed on her grind and still made it happen down there. I didn't see anybody crying about her being robbed of the election. But during the presidential election, there was clearly no robbery, but that's what they cried, and they cried foul. But that's what sore losers do. They cry foul. They cry foul. It's almost like, you know what, it's like sports. Like you ever play ball with a cat, he called foul all the time because he just want to go to the lane untouched. That's what this is like. That's what this is like. That's a sports metaphor for you so-called hoopers out there. But Stacey Abrams is the real MVP, man. And I hope that once the smoke clear, once the dust settles, that she gets what she deserves. She gets her flowers, man. She gets rewarded for all her hard work and dedication for what she has done. But that's about as political as I'm gonna get. But I was SNL, move it over to SNL. Hey yo, Jim Carrey is killing Joe Biden's character. Like Alec Baldwin is probably the best Trump I've seen. But yo, the way Jim Carrey is doing Biden, man, like I think I like Jim Carrey as Biden more than I like Biden as Biden. Like I love Jim Carrey, man, and he dope. He dope. He murdering that. He murdering that character. But a week, I think 2 weeks before SNL aired with Chappelle, which I'm gonna talk about in a sec, comedian Bill Burr hosted, and I don't think his monologue that he did at the beginning got enough attention. Like, yo, the way he was going in on white women who, he had a joke about how white women have hijacked the woke movement, and he just broke it down about, he explained what it was, and he just went in on it, and it was beautifully done. Like, I love when comedians can make the crowd uncomfortable but still make them laugh. Like that uncomfortable comedy, that's when you are in your groove and you found your pocket, and you could just hear the laughter. Like some people was laughing like hard, and some people was kind of laughing like, I don't know if I should be laughing at this. I don't know how I feel about this, but for some reason it's funny to me. And yo, he just went in, man. He went in, and I love when he was like, telling the white women, yo, sit down next to me and get your talking to. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Like, yo, this ain't the time to be. We don't need feedback. We don't need feedback. Just listen. Listen. Now is the time for listening. You did enough talking. Now is the time for listening. And he just, he destroyed it. Like, I love seeing, because it's easier for us to do, because it's just naturally in us. But to see a white comedian chastise white people, like how George Carlin used to do, like it's just dope to me. It's dope, especially when it's funny. It's dope. but I don't think he is getting enough attention, man. So if I can find some clips, I'm sure they got some clips on YouTube or whatever. But check out Bill Burr's monologue on SNL, man. It was funny as hell. And then fast forward to Dave Chappelle, who, I grew up like, we need a new list. Like, we got the GOATs. Like, we got the GOATs. You know, we got the Eddie Murphy, we got Richard Pryor, we got those guys. But I think for this era and the generation before, like the early 2000s to now, because, Eddie Murphy ran like the 80s. You had Martin who ran the 90s. I think now, from 2000 to 2020, where we are now, Chappelle has taken over as GOAT. And I don't think nobody even is coming close right now. And I love comedy, but nobody is coming close right now. The way he performs as with freedom. With freedom. Like, I don't even know no other way to describe it. It's freedom. The way he gets his issue off is the way that someone would get it off when they're not worried about anything, when they are completely unbothered. This man, he's not worried about losing no deals, no endorsements, no movie roles, no nothing. Matter of fact, it seems like the harder he go, the more success or the more bags come his way. And I think, I don't know his life, but I think walking away from $55 million, whatever it was, when he had his Chappelle show, was probably the best thing in hindsight, not during, was probably the best thing that he could have done. Because essentially what he showed was, I'm not controlled by money or popularity. I move to the tune of my conscience. And I think in life, man, that's the best way to move, to the tune of your conscience. And see, now you see him, man, when he get on stage, the way he go at it, it don't matter. Whatever community, whatever subject, whatever issue he want to talk about, the way he go at it is just genius. It's fearless. He has that perfect balance between it being funny and also being, it also kind of jab you. You could laugh, but also it kind of hurt a little bit. And I think that, he's locked in. He's locked in. I don't think there's nothing he can't do. Like, he is locked in comedically. And the way he crafts his jokes, man, and his delivery, it's like nothing I've seen in ever. Patrice O'Neal had it. Rest in peace, my man. That's probably my second favorite comedian of all time. Patrice O'Neal had it too. But the way Chappelle do it, man, is special. It is special. He give you that old feel, like you see him smoking on stage, and I don't think he drinks, but it just reminds you of like how the old performers used to do. They would be on stage, they would have their bow tie untied with their tux on, and they would be smoking and drinking or whatever, and just putting on a good show. Like, he gives you that old school feel before the world got super sensitive, where you could say things and not possibly lose your job or your livelihood, that's the feel you get from him. And it's just a good feeling, man. It's a good feeling. But we need a list for this time. Like we have the old school list, but we need a list for this time. And if I had to, like, me personally, this is just my list. Nobody else's. This is only official to me. I have Chappelle 1, Patrice O'Neal 2. This is just my faves. Chris Rock 3. I got Cat Williams at 4, and my sleeper Deion Cole. I love Deion Cole. A lot of y'all just really getting hip to Deion Cole, but when Deion Cole was chubby in Chicago, he was killing it. I like chubby Deion Cole, and this Deion Cole too, Old Spice Deion Cole. But he tough. He tough. But the way Chappelle do his thing, man, it's just fearless. It's fearless. He speak whatever, and he had that joke about like when things was going on about Ja Rule, like, who cares about, get Ja Rule on the phone, who cares about what Ja Rule think? But what's funny is some of us we can't, when things happen, we look for Chappelle to speak on it. Because of the way he do it. And he killed it. He killed his monologue, man. And I don't think I ever seen a monologue that long. Like, it was almost like it was extended. I'm going to time it next time. I'd have watched it like 3 times. I'm going to probably time it next time. But I've never seen a monologue that long on SNL. And it was worth every minute. That matter of fact, I mean, the show was good after that. But after his monologue, you could have really flipped the channel if you wanted to and been good with that. But I did not. I kept watching, and the show itself was good, like all the way through. It was always good. But yeah, man, he's definitely wearing the crown right now. He's definitely wearing the crown. And I don't think no one is taking that from him until he decides to hand it off. It's almost like Jordan back in the day. Like nobody, once he arrived, nobody dethroned him until he decided to hand it off. But it was just dope. So if you can find that one, man, check that one out too. And I've been on my, you kind of lay low and you can't really do too much. You limited with what's going on out here. So I know for me, man, I've been brushing up on my old black romantic comedy, not comedies, but just black romantic movies, black love stories, man. I been kind of binge watching a few. I watched Love Jones, Poetic Justice, Jason Lyric, Brown Sugar, and one more I'm mentioning in a second that I don't think gets enough credit. And by the way, I watch these on DVD. Yes, I still have a DVD player. And yes, I still have all my DVDs. And I still buy DVDs to this day. Like, that's me. Like, the whole digital thing is cool, but I like having artwork. Like, I wish music CDs would come back because I like having that artwork. I like knowing who produced the beats, and some of them have like the lyrics in them. Like, I like all of that. Like, I'm the cat that would buy a CD instead of downloading it if I had that option to, because I love having just the artwork. And I noticed that they're making a lot of these cars without CD players now. I'm like, yo, that's trash. That's trash. Like, don't force me to just be one way. Give me my CD player. But I still have my book of CDs right now. And you remember how you used to take, you used to arrange them? Like I know for me, I had like two, all Mobb Deep on one page. I had all Wu-Tang on one page, all Redman on one page. You know, you had it was some organization to it. But I'm old school like that. I still buy that stuff. So I was watching my DVDs and all that. And I found that when you get older, man, things you change up a little bit. Like as dope as those movies were, like I had a hard time watching just Poetic Justice and Jason Lyric. Cause Jason Lyric, it was just a little rough. Like the story, like don't get me wrong, those are classics. But I know for me, when I watch movies or TV or whatever, I like to watch things I tend to watch things that are the furthest away from my reality. So I don't necessarily gravitate towards the hard lifestyle hood stories as much as I used to, because I grew up around that. So I don't really care for having like reminders of how it used to be. So I kind of want to be as further away from that as possible. But they was all dope movies, man. I watched Love and Basketball too, which now annoys me. Like I can't watch it now because it annoys me. And I don't know why, but I was watching it. I was just like, yo, man, if y'all gonna be together, be together. If not, just don't. But that movie annoys me now. But I love it. But I can't watch it now because I don't know. I just can't. But Brown Sugar is probably one of my favorites because I love that story because for one, it's combining love and hip hop, no pun intended. But I love it. I love it. Mos Def was dope in there. It was just a beautiful story. It was a beautiful story. But I love that. But one movie that doesn't get enough credit is this movie called Beyond the Lights with Nate Parker, who did Birth of a Nation, if y'all don't know who he is. And the young lady in there, I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name and disrespect it and mess it up like that. It's not your average name, but she was amazing in there. And if you haven't seen it, it's basically this young lady who was groomed since she was a kid to be a pop star, to be a star. And so all her life, you know, she's been in the limelight and she's been singing and performing and doing all of this, and she's basically battling depression, like suicidal, like it's deep. And Nate Parker is not a bodyguard, but we're doing security for her. And he winds up saving her life. She was about to commit suicide, and he saved her. And their story kind of builds, you know, it kind of builds from there, you know. But it's a very good movie. And I don't think enough people talk about it, man, because it covered a lot of things that people deal with on a day-to-day basis. Like, you see the glitz and the glamour, but, yo, you hurting behind the scenes. You don't know what these people dealing with behind the scenes. We just see the luxurious side. And it's just a beautiful, it was just a dope movie. It was a dope movie. Beyond the Lights. So if you can find it, like I don't even know if it come on TV, man. But like if you can find it, I don't know if it's on what streaming service is on or what, but if you can find it, it's a very good movie with Nate Parker and the young lady, man. I'm sorry, but I don't want to mess her name up. But it's a very good movie. Very good movie. But I also was watching some I guess you would call it I guess you could call them thrillers, like Breaking In with Gabrielle Union, and Intruder with Megan Good and Michael Ealy and Dennis Quaid, I believe. Fatal Affair, Omar Epps, and Traffic with Omar Epps and Paula Patton. All pretty good. Fatal Affair was but all were pretty good. The only issue I have with these movies is, why does the man gets beat up in all of these movies, and the villain just runs through the dudes, like just beats them, don't even struggle with them, just beat them up and move on and try to get to the woman. And when he gets to the woman, he struggles and she busts him up and just destroys the guy. That's kind of it's kind of emasculating when you're watching it, because it's like, yo, the man is supposed to be the protector and all of that. But in these movies, they get hammered. Like the dude in Breaking In with Gabrielle Union. I don't know the guy's name, but he was in Barbershop. He was like Eve boyfriend. He was doing the dirty, and Dinka punched him in the face. But he shows up to the crib, immediately he gets beat up at the doorstep. Like, it's awful. He didn't even make it in the house. He gets beat up at the doorstep while his family looks through the glass while he gets beat up. And he was like, "Don't hurt my family," or something like that. I was just like, man, look, knock him out so we can get to the climax, to the end. But it's just like the dudes get annihilated, and then when the villain gets to the woman, they struggle, and it ain't even like it's just funny. It's funny watching the movie. It's just funny. It's hard. I tend to pay attention to the wrong thing because I'm looking for other stuff. But that's just funny to me that the dudes get busted up, and then when the villain get to the woman, he can't handle her. She busted him up, and he lose. And then the dude, the man come limping, and he all bloodied and battered. He limping to the woman, and she kisses his forehead, and they go on. But they need to do a movie after that to show you how the lifestyle changed after your woman has seen you get thumped. Because you can no longer, can you still be the head of your household after that? That's a good question. So yeah. So check this. So ladies, if you're out with your guy and they get into an altercation, just one-on-one, like something happens, whatever the scenario may be, somebody is being disrespectful or being loud, or, they trying to hit on you, and your man decides to step up and defend your honor, and he loses horribly, not even close. He gets his ass whipped. Whipped. You gotta hit that H a little harder. Does your level of respect change for him, or does it increases because he put forth some effort and tried to defend your honor? If your man gets beat up trying to defend your honor one-on-one, not get jumped, one-on-one, they shooting the fur one-on-one, and he gets stomped out, and you got to tap his cheek to bring him back. Does your level of respect change for him, or does it increases because he tried to defend your honor? And me personally, I don't know how I would feel as a man. Like, can you how long would it take to get over that? Especially if you got a fat lip after that, or a Band-Aid across the bridge of your nose, or your eyes swole because he done you dirty. And I And lady like, well, I jump in and it won't be like that. He gonna knock you out too. I'm just saying, one-on-one. Lady, stop doing that. Don't jump in. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because one of us got to take each other to the hospital. Somebody got to live to tell the story. Somebody got to live to talk to the police. Somebody got to live to call the family members and let them know what happened. Like, don't jump in that. Don't jump in that, because you can make the situation worse. Now, if you got hands, and I mean hands, like certified hands, like Ronda Rousey, Layla Ali hands, if you got hands, then by all means, matter of fact, step in front of me and handle it. Excuse me. Step in front of me and handle it. But if you just regular with your hands, that windmilling, that thumb up, all that, just scoot over and let me take my whooping like a man. Because I don't need him whooping you too. Then that adds on to my hurt and my shame and my guilt, because not only did he whoop me and get me out the way, he put his hands on you. Don't do it. Don't do it. But just, how would you feel about your guy after the fact? And I think it's a toss-up. I don't really think there's no sure answer, because now when y'all out, do you feel safe? Do you feel protected? Because a woman wants to feel safe and protected when they're with the guy. They want to feel like nothing can happen to me. And rightfully so. And rightfully so. Matter of fact, fellas, ask your lady, do you feel safe with me? And see what she says. And if she don't, then you doing something wrong, partner. But they want to feel protected. But I'm just saying, if will you still feel the same way after your man takes that horrible L? But that's funny. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. If that happened to me, and wife would be like, nah, bro, I don't know if I can continue this thing. Yo, I don't even know if I could blame her. Because what if it happened again? What if it happened again? What do you do? What do you do when you get in another situation like that? Now, ain't no shame in running. Ain't no shame in walking away. Ain't no shame in backing down. But I'm saying, when there's no other options but to put them hands up. Talking ain't gonna cut it. There's no other option. Then what do you do when you know you just coming up off this fresh L? I don't know if I can even argue like, no, stay, don't leave. I was trying to defend you. I'd probably just have to be like, I get it. Nothing you can do. But I'm not the cat. I'm not the cat to not be in tune with reality. But it is what it is. But taking the L in a fight, there's no shame in that. You win some, you lose some. And I would rather take an L and live another day than to do what these young cats is doing now, where they just quick to shoot. Like, they don't even try to fight. And then it'd be over nothing. It'd be over nothing. Like, the value of life is so low right now. It's like, it's crazy. It is crazy how the respect and value for life is at an all-time low. How we could just take a life over the littlest things, to from you stepping on my shoes, to you bumping into me at the club, or to you trying to holler at my girl, or to you owe me $20. It's just crazy how nowadays we can just shoot and take a life over the simplest things that can be talked out, or you can just walk away from and not deal with that person ever again, or for a while. It's just amazing, man. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I don't see it getting any better. And I don't have any answers, man. And I'm speaking on a certain incident that happened recently. I don't know all the details, so I'm not even getting into that. I'm just speaking in general and what's been happening, recently. But it's just amazing, man, how these cats out here is taking lives, man. With no hesitation either. With no hesitation. Road rage. You kill somebody over road rage. Because your road rage get the best of you. You follow somebody, you kill them or whatever. It's just too much going on. It's too much going on. And, you know what? I don't know what we need, man, but I think it starts in the crib. It starts in the crib. And it starts in the crib, and it starts with your upbringing. A lot of these kids out here, a lot of these little dudes out here, man, are not stable emotionally. So they don't know how to handle their emotions when they get upset or when somebody hurt their feelings, somebody break their heart. Like, they don't know how to deal with it because they're not being raised properly, because something is lacking. What that may be, it varies. Lack of father in the crib. Or, lack of attention from the moms. Because you could be in the home and still be an absent parent. Don't think just because you in the crib, eating, sleeping, and shitting that, you're having an impact on your household. Because it's a lot of people, it's a lot of kids with both parents or one parent that still feel alone. It's a lot of people in relationships that still feel alone. So just because you in the crib, don't mean you necessarily in the crib. And these kids is growing up lacking the basic fundamentals of human decency. They don't know how to handle their emotions, man. That's why you see these guys, that's why you see these guys beating on women. Or you see the cats just killing each other because they don't know how to deal with their emotions, man. They have anger issues. They're not being taught how to deal with situations. And so they see what's going on in their surroundings and they think, well, that's the way that you do things. That's the way that you handle things. And it's so far off. It's so far off. But that's what we are seeing. That's what they see. And it is, out of hand is an understatement. Out of hand is an understatement. But we got to figure something out, man, because my son got to grow up in this shit. He's gonna be out there one day. And I don't want my man to be living a sheltered life. I want him to experience the highs and the lows, the happiness, the joy, the pain, the love, the hate, everything that life has to offer. But not at that cost. But I don't see it getting any better, man. And I'm like an optimistic dude. But our kids, man, they in trouble. They're in trouble. They're in trouble. They are in trouble. And the way this world is set up to handle them when they get in trouble. Because it don't take much for us to get in trouble. And the world is showing you, like, we relentless. We gonna get you. one way or the other. And it's just, it's nasty, man. It's nasty. I wish I had the answers. I wish there was a simple solution, but it's not. We just got to come together. We got to come together, man, and get some type of understanding. We got to come together and get some type of understanding. We got to learn to use our words. We got to learn to communicate. We got to learn to talk. We got to learn to listen. That's what we got to do. We got to learn to listen. A lot of times, man, we talk, and then when we do get quiet, we're not listening. We're just waiting on our turn to talk. But we're not actually soaking in what's being said to us. We're just waiting on our turn to give our rebuttal. We're not really hearing the other person and soaking it in and analyzing it and trying to, gain an understanding. We're just waiting on you to shut up so then I can speak. And nothing ever gets done that way. Nothing ever gets done that way. So we have to do something, man. We got to do something. I don't know what. But I wanted to talk about I've been seeing a lot of stuff on social media, man, for as like certain words. And we throw around certain words that tends to get have a negative connotation to them, which, because they tend to be used in only that way, but it's not necessarily that's the only way. Like, and especially like when it comes to relationships, like I'm gonna be honest with you, the word submissive, like I hate that word. I think people saw that word submissive in the Bible and they used it saying be submissive to your mate, and nobody has a clear understanding of what that actually means. And I hate that word. I hate to say hate, but I hate that word submissive. We need to get rid of submissive because nobody knows exactly what that means. You make up your own interpretation. That's probably one of the I just don't like that word. Like, get submissive out of here. Come up with something else. Like, submissive is just nobody can get it. And even when you ask somebody to explain it to you, even their explanation is not. They all say the same thing, but nobody agrees with what everybody is. The same thing is being said, but nobody agrees with it. So, we need to get rid of that word. Another word, settling. I think settling gets a bad reputation as well. I don't think settling is a bad thing, because if you look at it in legal terms. When you see people, like if I'm suing somebody for like $100 million and we settle for 50 million, that's a very good thing. That's a very good thing. And I think we look at settling as like you're taking the L and you just giving up and saying, oh, well. No, I think settling should be replaced with compromise, because when it comes to, I'm going to use relationship terms. When it comes to trying to find a mate and you're dating and you're trying to pick out what you like about this person, what you don't like, what you're going to deal with, what you're not going to deal with, and all of this, it's a compromise. You're not settling. Settling is not a bad thing. It's a compromise. And I think a lot of times our list is too long. Our list is too strict, man and women. Our list is too long and our list is too strict. We jot down all these different things of, they gotta have this. They gotta have. I'm a man, so I'm gonna do a man. So, the man go, she gotta be built like this. She gotta, her skin complexion gotta look like this. her hair got to look like this. Um, she can't have this many kids. She has to perform like this. She has to be able to cook. She has to dress like this. And it's like, yo, my man, that's like, it's goofy. It's goofy to me. It's goofy to me. And the woman would turn around and their list is pretty similar. You know, there's a height requirement. There's a penis size requirement. There's a job requirement. There is a kid requirement, but most times single I don't know. I don't know the statistic, but a lot of times single fathers don't have their child. So the child is not the kid ratio is really not an issue unless you just shooting clubs up and you just got them all out here. But it can't be no baby mama drama. I'm gonna add it to the man list too. It can't be no baby daddy drama. And it's like, yo, these lists get so long and so strict that you kind of negotiating yourself out of a deal. And there's nothing wrong with a compromise. Okay, yeah, she may not have. You know what? I'm gonna scrap the dudes list, bump it, because the dudes list is pretty much superficial, which is really unfair to women. You have to be willing to compromise. Like, you're not going to get everything that you want. Like, let's be real. You're not going to get everything on your list. If you have a list of 10 things, you may get 6, you may get 7. But I think on those 10 things on your list, what are the most important ones? And then you have to go by that. I'm not saying jeopardize your safety or your lifestyle or whatever the case may be. But that list, you have to go on that list and you got to go through, cut it down, chop it. You give yourself a better chance if you chop it. You got 10, go through that list. And what's more important? All right, that ain't important. Okay. He got to be tall. Okay, facts, because I like wearing heels. I don't want to put no heels. I'm taller than this cat. So, all right, so height, give you that. Weight, that's all about perspective. Women generally tend not to really worry about the weight unless they are really into fitness, and then you will want somebody that comes from that same pedigree, which is understandable. But the regular average, woman, body shape really not as important as long as it's not ridiculous. Like, if you built like a wisdom tooth, then yeah, you're probably going to have an issue. But women tend to be able to overlook that gut or them B cups and and be able to love you. I give you that. But you got to just chop that list down, man, because you tend to negotiate yourself out the game. And there's nothing wrong with settling. There's nothing wrong with compromising, because it's give and take. It's give and take. It's give and take. Sometimes you got to give. Sometimes you got to take. Sometimes they got to take. Sometimes you got to give. But I just think that sometimes, man, we so adamant about this list of things that we tend to, like I said, man, we tend to negotiate ourselves out the deal, and then you sit and you wondering, like, what's up? Why I'm struggling with it? Because I'm telling you right now, it's getting harder and harder for women out here, man, to date and find somebody, because dudes are not really looking for that. I was trying to say something flyer than that, but I couldn't think of that. But it's getting harder, man, because the game is so easy and the game is so nasty. I just remember like back in the day, like before all this social media stuff, you know how hard it was to get the number. You had to work hard to get the number. And I mean, when I say get the number, I mean like she write her number down on a piece of paper and give it to you. That was a challenge. That was work to get that number. And then it was some chicks who would give you the wrong number. You call that number, it'd be like AutoZone. And then it's like, yo, nothing you can do. You couldn't go on social media and find it like, yo, you gave me the wrong number. That was it. You was played, you was embarrassed. You had to take that L, and that was it. You call it again, and thanks for calling AutoZone. Can I help you? You're like, hey, do it Tasha work there? Nah, ain't no Tasha here, partner. Now you done. Then your homeboys, you know, it was a lot harder back then. Your homeboy, hey, what's up with the little shorty you met, dog? You know, she gave you the number. You like, it was AutoZone, B. Oh, she work at AutoZone? She gave me the number to AutoZone. So it was just a lot harder, man. It was a lot harder. You had to work. You really had to work. And see, now it's so much easier because you don't even have to like the effort has fallen off so much on the man's behalf. It used to be, yo, can I take you out? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Now, dudes getting really acquainted through social media. They don't have to take you out. It's costing you nothing. And it's making the dudes lazy out here. It's making the dudes lazy, and it's making the dudes unappreciative. And I'm only saying this because I got some single homegirls, man. We talk about, you know, the climate of today and how filthy it is. And yo, let me just say, yo, dudes, yo, y'all wildin', man. They be showing me them, they be screenshotting and showing me them inboxes and them DMs, and y'all be on some wild things. It's hilarious, but it's sad at the same time. But social media, man, is making it easier. It's too accessible. It's making people too accessible to where you don't appreciate the time. The time is not being appreciated. It's being given because social media is making everybody accessible. It's just a click away. It's just a click away. Don't have to worry about what you're doing because you're showing me. And it's just making it nasty out here, man. Like, I can get off into a whole thing about that, but I'm hungry. And I'm at the stage of my life where food trumps everything. I'm hungry. So, settling is not a bad word. There's nothing wrong with settling. All right? And another word is clingy, too. Like, clingy, I think, was damn near replaced with thirsty. I'm so glad. I don't know if thirsty out of here, but we should get thirsty out of here because showing interest is not thirsty. Like, thirsty just sounds awful. But clingy is another word that gets a bad rep. Like, I look at clingy as being affectionate, not a form of insecurity. Like, everybody like, he was too clingy. Like, what you mean? Like, he wanted to be around you? He wanted to spend time with you? Like, what's clingy? So, please explain it to me, how clingy is a bad thing. Because like I said, to me, clingy is wanting to be around that person, wanting to spend time with that person, wanting to just chill with that person, wanting to talk to that person. Like, what is wrong with being clingy? Now, I know you can be excessive, but how often is, like, what is excessive? Because I don't think nobody is trying to keep up with your whereabouts 24 hours a day. every minute of the day. I don't think clingy is a bad thing. Cause I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm clingy. I love loving on my woman. Her sit next to me. What we about to do? Nothing. I'm gonna watch this TV. But just sit next to me. But clingy is not a bad thing. I don't think clingy is a bad thing, man. Get you somebody that's clingy, yo. Because I'm telling you, that clingy person, they're going to protect you. You might get the ass whipped, but they're going to protect you. They're going to try. And, like, masculine. Like, masculine is, now we're trying to get rid of masculinity. We're trying to do away with the masculine man. I'm not talking about macho, because there is a difference between masculine and macho. There is a difference. Macho is more toxic. It's more of a toxic version of masculinity. Macho is the excessive version of masculinity, actually. When you just feel like, you know, a man don't do this, or I'm too much of a man to express this, or say this, or wear this, or whatever. And we pass that down to our sons like, hey, yo, a man don't do that. That, to me, that's being like too macho. But masculine, ain't no wrong with standing on yours. You know, yo, I'm a man, and this is how I move, and you be unapologetic about it. And being confident in who you are, and being able to be in certain environments, or interact with certain people, or just do certain things and not feel like somebody testing your manhood. I don't think nothing's wrong with that. Ain't no wrong with being masculine, bro. 'Cause I'm teaching my son. There's a lot of things that come with being masculine. Teaching them to respect women. Most importantly, respect your mother. Respect people, man. Treat people how you want to be treated. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Your word being your bond. Word is bond. Word being your bond. But we have to take these negative connotations off of these words, man. Hey, be clingy. Dude, and it's a lot of dudes out here that's clingy too. They love being clingy, especially that pillow talk after them sessions. Dudes get real chatty. The hardest dudes get real chatty, pause. But we have to take we have to remove those negative connotations, man. But like I said, let's get rid of submissive. You know, submissive is a trash word. Let's get rid of that. Because nobody really understands what submissive means. But with that being said, man, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Like I said, I'm hungry. I'm about to go eat this leftover Chinese food. But y'all be safe, man. Be easy. Protect yourselves. Wear the mask. Avoid toxic conversations. Anything that is not fruitful to your spirit, to your mental, avoid that. Do away with the negativity, man. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. We're already at war. We don't have time for that, man. Let's support each other. These businesses, man. I love seeing all of these entrepreneurs trying to get their business off the ground, man. I'm supporting all of them. I'm supporting these body butters. I'm supporting these candles. I'm supporting artwork. I bought my man artwork. You see the brown back there. I'm supporting it. These little black websites that's selling these uplifting shirts that's celebrating, you know, black culture. I'm into it. I'm here for it. I am here for it. Let's support each other, man. It's power in our support. It's power in our support. I'm supporting authors. The authors out there writing books. I'm buying books. I'm supporting. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is the time now, man, for everybody to get that bread. It's enough bread out here for everybody, man. All we got to do is support each other. So, you know, with that being said, I'm looking for my 8 viewers to go up to 12 viewers. But let's support, man. Let's show love, man. Let's respect one another. And let's just support. I'm out.